Hello there RPG lovers and welcome to another video. 2023 was a great year for RPGs and it seems like 2024 will be the same.
Not a trick, my friend. Magic.
I created a list of 10 upcoming RPGs that should come out during 2024 and I'm going to tell you why I'm personally excited for these particular games. I might even do a second part to this video, since there are more RPGs I'm excited for. But the games on this list are definitely my most anticipated RPGs of 2024 and I would like to hear yours in the comments below. The first game I'm going to tell you about in this video is a journey into the heart of intense warfare. You can be in the driver's seat of over 2000 ultra-realistic vehicles, each one ready to unleash its fury. The game is War Thunder, and here you will feel the power of commanding a mighty tank, unleash destruction from above in a swift aircraft, or take the helm of a formidable naval vessel and rule the high seas. The cross-platform feature allows you to play with your friends and other people from all around the world, whether they're on a PC, Xbox or PlayStation. War Thunder has an in-depth customization system for vehicles, which allows you to apply hundreds of camouflages, place historical markings anywhere on your machines, as well as 3D decorators such as bushes and equipment. This game has an incredible graphics and detail in 4K resolution, authentic sound effects and immersive music that creates a great atmosphere. What I found very impressive about this game is the dynamic and detailed vehicle damage models with damage X-ray feature, which shows exactly what happens to you or your enemy vehicle. Download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation or Xbox using my link in the description. And if you're a new player or you haven't played the game for at least 6 months, you can claim a large bonus pack which includes multiple premium vehicles, premium accounts, an exclusive 3D decorator for your vehicles and much more. So hurry up. Number 10. Fera, the Sundered Tribe. Fera, the Sundered Tribe is an upcoming third-person open-world action RPG. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter games, you probably want to keep your eye on Fera. This game is obviously inspired by Monster Hunter, but it also has village building and tribe management features. Fera has co-op features as well, so you'll be able to hunt these giant monsters with a couple of friends. The studio behind Fera describes the action combat as following. Armed with a mythical tether hook and agile glider wings, you will lead your tribe in taking down the gigantic beasts, terrorizing and corrupting your homelands. Taking advantage of your agile swinging and flying abilities, you will surprise your enemies with aerial maneuvers that allow you to cling on their massive forms, perform critical attacks, and even severing limbs to bring down these behemoths. Creating a combat system like this is pretty challenging, even for a much bigger studio, so it will be interesting to see if developers of Fera will pull it off. The info about those building features is very vague, but I assume it's going to work similar to some tower defense games, or maybe even like the Rampage feature from Monster Hunter Rise. I hope not, because I didn't like that feature in Rise very much, but we'll see. Fera the Sundered Tribe doesn't have an official release date, but according to a couple of sources from the internet, it should supposed to come out during 2024 for PC. Number 9. Duel Corp. Duel Corp is an upcoming third-person action RPG. The first thing you immediately notice about this game is the unique art style. Duel Corp has pixel art retro fantasy environment with high-definition 2D textures. It looks very interesting, that's for sure. Duel Corp is described as an action RPG where you can have an unrestricted class and AI system with fluid and challenging direction-based combat. You can play alone or with one more player in co-op. It even has a split-screen feature, which is always cool to see in new RPGs. There is a character customization system which should allow you to create a unique-looking character. On top of that, you will customize your character with a variety of weapons, armor and abilities in order to try and create a unique playstyle. A rogue with two-handed axe, sneaking up on enemies and throwing fireballs? Sure thing. That's how they describe the character customization, and if that's actually true, building your character will be really fun. This game also has procedurally generated world, full of secrets, unique items, allies and challenges. You can also customize your partner's AI however you want. You can request the access on Steam and playtest the game right now. Duel Corp is supposed to be released in early access on PC in 2024. Number 8. Ardenfall. Ardenfall is an upcoming open world first-person RPG that I covered a couple of times on my channel in the past. If you're a fan of Elder Scrolls games, you're probably going to like what Ardenfall is trying to do. I got some major Morrowind vibes while playing the demo for this game in 2023, and you can download the demo right now and try it out for yourself. Ardenfall has a deep dialogue system with a lot of player choice and consequences. On top of that, the game has different factions to join, as well as a reputation system which affects how the NPCs react to your actions. Before you begin the game, you'll get to customize your character. The open world offers you a lot of freedom and some interesting areas to explore. This low poly artistic style is very cool, and it manages to create a nice and distinctive atmosphere while exploring the world. The role-playing options you select are pretty important, even from the very beginning of the game. This action combat system uses a simple action bar where you can put consumables or different spells and abilities. Check out my other videos about this game if you want to hear more in-depth info. Overall, I'm really excited for Ardenfall's full release. The official release date has not been announced, but it seems like the development is in full swing, so 2024 is probably not out of reach. At least I hope so. Number 7. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. Banishers Ghost of New Eden is an upcoming third-person, story-driven action RPG. The story is about two characters who are hunting ghosts. You're supposed to make some decisions while solving these quests, which should affect the gameplay as well. According to the studio behind the game, there are 5 different endings, which is the result of many different decisions you get to make. To be honest with you, I didn't find the story or the characters that compelling by watching the trailers for the game. Although that's only a very small sample of this game, so my opinion might change when I actually get to play it. The female character dies in the beginning of the game and she becomes the thing she hates the most. But it turns out that she's still helping her partner to hunt ghosts with some great advantage from the afterlife. The gameplay in Banishers looks like old school, linear action adventures, and I say that in the best way possible. I covered a ton of similar, older games that play like this in 2023, so that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to try this game out. The animations and the combat look pretty good, and it will be interesting to see those unique ghost banishing abilities. We don't have a lot of info about particular gameplay features. Banishers Ghost of New Eden comes out very soon. 13th February is the release date for PC, Xbox and PlayStation. Number 6. No Rest for the Wicked. No Rest for the Wicked is an isometric action RPG from the developers of Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest was an amazing looking game with unique artistic style. No Rest for the Wicked continue in the same fashion, it also looks very unique. It's not just about their interesting usage of colors, it's also the unique looking character models. Visually, this is definitely one of the most interesting games on this list. You play as a character called Serim, a member of a group mythical holy warriors with remarkable power. The combat is described as precise and visceral. The weight and speed of each weapon is supposed to create a different playstyle with different movesets. The map is being described as handcrafted and meticulously built with incredible attention to detail. That's not so hard to believe in this particular case, because once again, Ori and the Blind Forest had some amazing visuals. There are some online features as well, you can share your world and progress with up to 3 players. You can also purchase property in the town of Sacrament and harvest the land for ingredients. Overall, I'm really excited to try this game out. No Rest for the Wicked is supposed to be released in early access on PC in the first quarter of 2024. The full release will be on PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC sometime after early access. Number 5. Forsaken Realms Vahrin's Call. Forsaken Realms Vahrin's Call is an upcoming third-person action RPG. Yet another game that I covered on the channel at least a couple of times in the past. I even called it my most anticipated indie RPG of 2023. Well, we're almost done with 2023 and it's still in development. So I'm hoping to see the release date in 2024, but that's still not confirmed. This game is giving me some major outward vibes, at least in the way it looks. It has a very vibrant color palette and semi-realistic artistic style with some amazing looking environments. It's very hard to achieve that immersive feeling of the game by just watching the YouTube trailers. You can tell that it's really fun to explore these forest areas, dungeons, the city and all other featured areas. Vahrin's Call is also a story-driven RPG with semi-open worlds. You're going to unlock more areas as you progress through the story. There is an in-depth character creation system which looks really good. Vahrin has a full-blown RPG system for character progression and customization. You can create interesting playstyles by mixing melee, ranged and magic spells. This progression system is very similar to Skyrim. For example, the more you use your two-handed weapons, the more that skill will increase. Overall, I'm really excited to play this game. You can check out my dedicated videos about it if you want to learn more info about the design. Forsaken Realms Vahrin still doesn't have a release date, but I'm really optimistic about 2024. Number 4. Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is an upcoming third-person Souls-like action RPG. With each new trailer, this game looks more and more impressive. The presentation is just insane in the latest trailer, and it got me really hyped for the game. Black Myth Wukong is rooted in Chinese mythology. The story is based on the Journey to the West, one of the 4 great classical novels of Chinese literature. The visuals look amazing, especially when it comes to monster design. There are some incredible looking animations, which make the action combat seem really precise and impactful. The diversity of boss monsters is downright impressive, judging by the trailers. That's something that a lot of Souls-like games can struggle with, so I'm really happy we get to see this aspect of the game in the trailers. I'm not so sure about the customization though, because it seems like the main character is using the staff in all of the scenes. I certainly hope to see more weapon choices and interesting itemization, although I'm pretty sure we're only going to be able to use the staff. There is a section where they mention different weapons, but I don't think those weapons can be the main weapon you use. I might be wrong though. We know that you can combine different spells, abilities and equipment in order to create a unique playstyle. Overall, the game looks amazing and I can't wait to try it out. 20th August 2024 is the release date for PC, Xbox and PlayStation. Number 3. Rise of Ronin. Rise of Ronin is an upcoming open-world action RPG by Team Ninja. Team Ninja is famous for their Ninja Gaiden series, Neo, and they recently released Wukong Fallen Dynasty. Rise of Ronin is a PS5 exclusive, which kinda sucks if you ask me, even though I do have a PS5. I just don't think the exclusives are good for gaming in general, but it is what it is. Rise of Ronin is set in a war-torn 19th century Japan. Amidst the chaos of war, disease and political unrest, a nameless warrior forges their own path, holding the very fate of Japan in their hands. To be honest, I probably wouldn't be that interested in this game if I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima. I even said that game was a masterpiece, so take that as you will. Unlike Ghost of Tsushima, where the story is very linear, Rise of Ronin is supposed to have a dynamic story. The story unfolds in different ways, depending on the choices you make and the characters you ally with along the way. The gameplay definitely looks very similar to previous Team Ninja games. I personally prefer a more grounded approach from Ghost of Tsushima, but that doesn't mean I didn't like the combat in these gameplay clips. Team Ninja is promising layers of complexity suitable for any playstyle. I did like how Neo games introduced different weapon stances, so I hope we get to see something similar in this game as well. Rise of Ronin is coming out exclusively on PS5 on March 22nd, 2024. Number 2. Avowed. Avowed is an upcoming first-person RPG by Obsidian. Obsidian is a well-beloved RPG studio, so a lot of people have high hopes for this game, including myself. Avowed is set in the Pillars of Eternity universe, which is pretty cool, especially if you're a fan of those CRPGs. As for the story, you are sent to the far-off island known as the Living Lands to investigate rumors of a spreading plague. This island is supposed to be full of mysteries and secrets, danger and adventure, choices and consequences. They have certainly put a lot of RPG buzzwords in that description, but it's everything you want to hear from an RPG. The combat gives you the option to mix and match swords, spells, guns and shields. The first-person perspective worries me a little bit, since it comes with some technical limitations by default, especially for combat with melee weapons. Although the first-person perspective can be much more immersive. Putting that aside, we still didn't see any info about RPG mechanics and features, which kinda makes me worried. That's supposed to be the main gist of Obsidian games, so I don't know why they still didn't show us anything related to this aspect of the gameplay. On the other side, the combat in all of these clips looks pretty good. You can combine spells with melee weapons for different effects, like freezing the enemy and then breaking them into pieces with a melee weapon. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of some recent Obsidian games like The Outer Worlds, I'm still really excited about Avowed. Avowed is coming out in 2024 for PC, Xbox and PlayStation. Number 1. Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is an upcoming third-person action RPG by Capcom. After almost 12 years since the first game released, we're finally getting a sequel. Dragon's Dogma was not exactly a huge title back in 2012, but it managed to get a very loyal fanbase. I've made multiple videos about various aspects of Dragon's Dogma in the past. It's a very unique open-world action RPG for more than a couple of reasons, but it could be also very hard to get into for some players. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks absolutely amazing from all that we could see so far. The presentation was amazing even in the first game, but Dragon's Dogma 2 took it to another level. You play as a Risen who has the unique ability to summon pawns and fight huge monsters. The pawn system from the first game is back, which means that you can create a unique looking follower that will accompany you on your travels. Besides the main pawn, you get 2 additional pawns from other players on the network. It's a pretty unique system that's supposed to create the feeling of playing in co-op with friends. I was hoping that Capcom will introduce a full-blown co-op system from Dragon's Dogma 2, but I'm also happy with an improved pawn system. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a story-driven RPG, just like the first game, but the main gist of Dragon's Dogma is killing huge monsters. You can climb the monsters and hit the weak spots, and your pawns can do the same, amongst other things. There is so much depth behind every feature and mechanic, it's absolutely insane. The first game was very polished in general, so I expect the same from the sequel. You get to choose your vocation, which is a class system in Dragon's Dogma, and you can switch them up whenever you want, level them up, learn new abilities and so on. Dragon's Dogma 2 introduces some new vocations which look pretty interesting, although I'm pretty sure I'm going to play as a warrior, at least on my first playthrough. They put a big emphasis on using the environment in the sequel, which can create some very fun gameplay moments. The first game also had that to some extent, which was really fun and unique. For example, it matters if your character is short or tall, and you can take the advantage of some features related to that. Like being able to withstand the strong wind in certain areas, or take a shortcut by entering a small hole in the ground. Pretty fun stuff. I think small details like this is what separates great RPGs from the good ones. The itemization in the first game was very fun, so I'm hoping the sequel is even better. I wasn't that invested in the story of the first game, but it seems like the sequel made some improvements on that field as well. Overall, the first game is one of my most favorite RPGs from that time period, so I have high hopes for the sequel. You can expect me to cover this game with a full review and possibly some streams. And those will be my top 10 RPGs for 2024. Tell me what RPGs you want to play in 2024, leave a comment down below. And of course, don't forget to join me in War Thunder, let's experience lots of positive emotions together. The battles in this game are very fast paced and dynamic, and no 2 matches are even the same. The unique link with bonuses awaits you in the description. See you on the battlefield. Speaking of supporting the channel, I just launched my personal store, where you can buy some interesting t-shirts and hoodies. And of course, you can always become a Patreon or a YouTube member and get your name on the end credits of my videos. Many thanks to all of my current supporters, and I'll see you in the next one.